evening to all of you. I am Sakshi Sharma from NIT Pharmacy Institute. Today I am going to teach you about the definition and the basic knowledge of the genotoxicity and carcinogenicity. Okay, now first of all, what is genotoxicity? Geno means gene, toxicity is the toxic effect in which there is any kind of the toxic effect which can be seen in the gene. This is known as the genotoxicity. If we split these two terms, genotoxicity, gene and then toxicity, genotoxicity, in if there is any kind of alteration in producing in the DNA or any kind of the gene part, this is known as the genotoxicity. Okay, genotoxicity, first of all we have to define what is genotoxicity. Genotoxicity in means the toxic damaging to the DNA. If there is any kind of the toxic effect can be seen in the DNA part, this is known as the genotoxicity. Any kind of substances that are genotoxic may bind, these drugs or these kind of substances, they can directly bind to the DNA part or indirectly leading to the DNA damage. They can indirectly lead to the damage of our DNA. So these are the genotoxic substances which mainly produces the alteration in the DNA part. These genotoxic substances damaged by affecting the enzymes which are involved in the, we all know that there are various enzymes which are mainly responsible for the DNA replication. DNA replication in which the DNA they will get replicate. Okay, so there are various type of enzymes which are involved in the DNA replication. So these substances, the substances which may alter or which may damage the enzymes which are involved in the DNA replication, they may produces the genotoxicity. Okay, and what are the effects which can be seen in the, if there is any kind of genotoxicity can be happen to any kind of the individual. So as we all know that if there is any kind of alteration can be seen in the gene part of that individual, they may produces some of the effects in that patient. They may either produces the cancer or they may always also produces the birth defects, some kind of birth defect. If there is any kind of gene they in missing in the fetus or in the infants, they can we can easily see some of the birth defects to that individuals. Okay, now the genotoxicity studies, they are mainly used to detect the early tumorogenic. What is tumorogenic? Tumorogenic means tumor, the cancers producing cells. So these genotoxicity studies, they are mainly used for early detection of the tumorogenic effect in cases of the chronic illness, because we all know that the cancer, it is a chronic disease. Okay, so we can early detect from the genotoxicity study, we can early detect the tumorogenic effect of any kind of the substances. These genotoxicity studies, in vitro studies, the test of the gene mutation in the bacteria, cytogenetic evaluations of chromosomal damage in the mammalian cells. Example, some of the tests which are mainly used for genotoxicities is the Ames salmonella assay, which is this is a very important test for determining the genotoxicity of the substances or the novel drugs or any kind of the for determining any kind of the genotoxic substances. They are mainly used to detect the increase the number of abbreviations in the metaphase chromosomes. Okay, the DNA strand breakdown, DNA repair or recombination measurement of the DNA adducts can be seen. Now, what are the genotoxic risk? What are the risk factor for the genotoxicity? As we see in this image, the genotoxic risk is the first the somatic cells. Okay, somatic cells, in the somatic cells we can easily see that the aging problem from the genotoxic, cardiovascular diseases can be seen. Okay, some of the cancers, I have told you that the tumorogenic effects can be easily determined through the genotoxicity study. So these are some of the genotoxic risk which can be easily seen in that patient. Okay, now the genotoxicity in the germ cells are the, there is sterility problems, sterility, genetic diseases can be, if there is alteration in the gene, if there is addition of the gene or there is deletion of the gene in any of the individual, चाहे कोई बढ़ जाए जीन, चाहे कोई हमारा कम हो जाए जीन, ऑल्टरेशन और डिलीशन, दे मे प्रोड्यूसेस सम ऑफ द जेनेटिक डिजीजेस टू दैट इंडिविजुअल, like the cystic fibrosis can be seen, sickle cell anemia condition can be seen in that patient, okay, hemophilia can be seen. These are the some of the genetic diseases problem which can be easily seen or through the genotoxicity studies, or these are some of the genotoxic risk. Hemophilia. Third one is the multifactorial diseases. Multifactorial diseases like diabetes, cardiovascular diseases can be seen through the genotoxic risk. Now the genotoxicity is a word which is mainly used in the genetic that will describe the possession or the progression of the substances that has the destructive, these genotoxic substances, they may produces the destructive effect in the genetic material. We all know that the DNA, it is the main genetic material, okay. These DNA, they can be inherited from the parents to their offspring, parents to offspring. So if there is offspring, so if there is any kind of alteration which can be seen in the DNA part, they may produces the genotoxicity or the gene toxicity in that individuals, okay. So genotoxic toxins, toxicity is a different word and the toxins are the different. Toxicity means the toxicity or the adverse effect. Toxins, the substances which are mainly producing the toxic effect in that individual, these are the toxins, okay. So these terms are different, toxicity and the toxins. So genotoxins are the mutagens, these are some of the mutagens. Mutagens, this is also a word, mutagenes matlab which can produces the mutation, okay. So genotoxins are the mutagens that can causes the genotoxicity which can lead to the DNA damage or chromosomal material that will causes the mutation or some kind of mutation is the when there is changes in the DNA, this is known as the mutation, okay. So genotoxins, these are the mutagens or they will produces the mutation in that individual or mutation in the DNA part, okay. Genetic toxicology is a branch, genetic or the genotoxicity, it is a branch, genetic toxicology is it is a branch which is mainly used, branch of science that mainly deals with the study of the agents or the any kind of substances or any kind of material or agents or drugs which may produces the damage to the DNA chromosomals or which may alter the DNA or which will deleted the genes. So genetic toxicology, it is a branch which is mainly used for studying these effects. Now if we see this figure, first of all, this is a description of the relation between the genotoxicity and the carcinogenicity, okay. If there is direct DNA damage and there is indirect DNA damage. Direct DNA damage, if there is direct damage in the DNA through any means, if there is direct DNA damage in the individual, they may either alteration in the DNA, repair, cell viability and proliferation can be seen. This is known as the cancer. We all know cell proliferation means there is a multiplication of the cells, okay. The cell, they will get multiplied. This is known as the, this may lead to the cancer. Second one is the indirect DNA damage. matlab the DNA, they are not directly damaged, they are indirectly through any of the agents or any of the other substances, the DNA will get damaged. Gene and protein or either through the gene and protein alterations or oxidative stress or apoptosis condition, they may also produces the alteration in the DNA repair, cell viability and the proliferation. This may also lead to the cancer. So either through direct DNA damage, either through indirect DNA damage, they may produces the cancer or the proliferation of the cells. What are the importance of these genotoxicity study, why we are studying these genotoxicity study and where these genotoxicity studies are mainly used, at which field we can use these genotoxicity study. Genotoxicity studies can be defined, I have told you that the genotoxicity study, this is can be defined as various in vitro and in vivo tests designed to identify any of the substances or any of the compounds which may induce the damage to the genetic part or which may induce the damage to the chromosomes or the damage to the DNA part, or directly or indirectly by through various means of mechanism they can directly or indirectly damage the genetic material of the individual. So these genotoxicity studies are mainly useful for determining the agents or the substances which may alter the DNA damage or which may produces the proliferation of the cells. So that these tests should enable the identification of the hazard with respect to the DNA damage and the fixation. Now the agents, what are the various agents that causes the direct on the indirect? I have told you in these slides that these is the direct and the indirect DNA damage, either to directly the DNA can be damaged or indirect DNA damage. Now we have to study the agents, what are the various agents which are mainly producing these direct on the indirect DNA damage, either to the relative oxygen, some of the oxygen species, oxidation or the oxidative stress, they may also alter the genetic material of our individuals. Okay. So reactive oxygen species, they may produces either direct or indirect effect to the DNA. Some of the UV or ionizing radiations, they may also alter the genetic material of that individual, like nucleoside analogues, they may also alter the genetic material of that individual. Topoisomerase inhibitors, okay, protein synthesis inhibitors, they may also alter the DNA damage or they may increase the DNA damage of an individual. Now what is the mechanism of the genotoxicity, how the genotoxic agent they will produces their effect. Okay. So the damage of the genetic material is caused by when there is an interaction between the genotoxic substances with the, when any kind of the genotoxic substances they will interact with our DNA part, they may alter the DNA function, and this by this means of mechanism the genotoxicity can be happen to that individual. So the damage of the genetic material is caused by the this genotoxic or the damage of the genetic material, they can be caused by interaction of the genotoxic substances with the DNA structure or any kind of the sequence of our DNA part, and these genotoxic substances they will interact at a specific location. Means if we talk about the DNA part, these genotoxic substances they will interact at the specific part of the DNA. Okay. Either they will interact with the base pairs of the DNA, either they will interact with some of the nucleotides or the nucleoside part of the DNA. Okay. By any means of the mechanism. So these genotoxic substances they will interact at a specific location or a specific base sequence of the DNA structure, and they will cause the lesion or they will produces the breakage or fusion, deletion or missegregation or disjunction, which may lead to the mutation or either to the DNA damage. Now this is the genotoxicity, in which there are some of the nanomaterial or chemical toxic chemicals, how ROS, the oxidative stress. Okay. In the mammalian cells ROS, this is a normal chromosome in which there is no toxic effect can be seen. Okay. Now the ROS, the nanomaterials or the toxic chemicals, they will interact. I have told you that if any kind of the genotoxic material they will interact with the DNA part or in any of the part of the DNA like base pairs or nucleotide or the nucleoside, if these toxic chemicals they will interact with the DNA part, they will alter the nucleus. न्यूक्लियस ऑल्टर होगा, उसकी वजह से क्या होगा हमारा, देयर विल प्रोड्यूसेस सम काइंड ऑफ द डिफेक्ट्स इन द डीएनए स्ट्रक्चर, and if there is any kind of the defects in the DNA structure, they may produces the chromosomal aberrations can be seen, and sorry, there is a abnormal cell growth or a tumorogenic, means tumor producing cells can be seen, means the cancer producing cells can be seen in that patient. Third one is the DNA double stranded breakage. I have told you that the DNA it is a double stranded. As we all know, DNA it is a double stranded. If there is a breakage in the double stranded, this will produces a cell die, cell division and the proliferation. After proliferation, the cell death may be or necrosis or further the cancer can be seen in that individual. Now these are some of the standard tests battery for determining the genotoxicity. These are some of the standard test procedures which we are using for studying the genotoxic activities of some of the substances. First one is the TG471 bacterial reverse mutation test, which is known as the Ames test. Ames test, this is a very important test for determining the genotoxic effect of any of the substances. Second one is the TG472, which is the genetic toxicology, in which we are using the bacteria such as Escherichia coli, and the reverse assay can be used for these study, genetic toxicology, the TG472. Third one is the TG473, in which the in vitro mammalian chromosome abbreviation test. This is a third test for determining the genotoxic effect of any kind of the agent. Fourth one is the TG474, mammalian erythrocyte micronucleus test. Fifth one is a TG475, mammalian bone marrow chromosomal abbreviation test. Fifth one is the TG476, in vitro mammalian cells gene mutation test. Next one is the TG477. This is the genetic toxicology, in which there is any kind of the sex linked recessive lethal test in Drosophila melanogaster. Okay, this is the very important test for the genetic toxicology, in which any kind of sex linked recessive lethal test can be done on the any kind of the species. Now next one is the TG478. This is also a very important genetic toxicology test. These all are the standard tests which we are mainly used for determining the genotoxic effect of any kind of the agent. The TG474, 478 genetic toxicology, rodent dominant lethal test. Next one, TG479, genetic toxicology, in vitro sister chromatid exchange assay in mammalian cells. Last one is the TG480, genetic toxicology, and this is Saccharomyces cerevisiae. The bacteria which we are using for these toxicology studies are the Saccharomyces cerevisiae and the gene mutation assay. Now these are the various tests for the determining the genotoxicity. These are some of the in vitro genetic toxicology tests and in vivo. In vitro means which are mainly through the chemicals. In vitro we are not using the species, any kind of species. In vivo means if we are producing the test or if we are performing the test on the living system. अगर हम कोई भी लिविंग सिस्टम में कोई भी टेस्ट कर रहे हैं, दिस इज नोन एज द इन वाइवो जेनेटिक toxicology. And in vitro means the test which we are performing in the labs by means of using the chemicals. This is known as the in vitro and in vivo. So the test for the genotoxicity study for determining the genotoxic agent, these are some of the in vitro genetic toxicology tests. Second one is the in vivo genetic toxicology test. In vitro there is a test for gene mutation. I have already told you in the previous slide that there are some of the standard test for the genetic toxicity study for determining the genetic toxic or the gene toxic substances or gene toxic agent. These are the in vitro genetic toxicology tests for gene mutation, in which first one is a TG471 bacterial reverse mutation, in which we are using the Saccharomyces bacteria or we are using the Escherichia coli bacteria. Second one is the TG476, in which the mammalian cell gene mutation test using the HPRT and XPRT or thymidine kinase gene. Now the test for chromosomal, these are the tests for the gene mutation. If there is any mutation or if there is any changes in the DNA part, these in vitro tests can be done for determining the genotoxic agent. Now the second one is the chromosomal. If there is any type of chromosomal abnormalities can be seen, or if there is any kind of chromosomal alteration can be seen in that individual, we are performing these chromosomal abnormalities tests, in which the first test is the TG473, which is a mammalian chromosomal abbreviation test. Second one is the TG487, which is a mammalian cells micronucleus test. So these are the in vitro genetic toxicology. Second one is the in vivo genetic toxicology, in which we are using the living system for performing the experiment. We are using the living system. In vivo genetic toxicology, first test is test for gene mutation, in which the first one test is a TG488, which is a transgenic rodent somatic and germ cell mutation assay Second one is a test for chromosomal. This is also the test for mutation by in vitro, by in vivo, test for chromosomal abnormalities, test for chromosomal abnormalities through in vitro, through in vivo. Now, the test for chromosomal abnormalities through the in vivo genetic toxicology, in which first of all we have to study the TG474, which is a mammalian erythrocyte micronucleus test. Second one is a TG475, which is a mammalian bone marrow chromosomal aberration test. Third one is the TG478, which is a rodent dominant lethal assay. Fourth one is the TG483, which is a mammalian spermatogonial chromosomal aberration test. Fifth one is the TG485 mouse heritable translocation assay. Now, this is the very important. Previously I have told you that the main important genotoxicity studies test is the EMIS test. Okay, so this is the EMIS test, which is known as the TG471 EMIS test, in which this is a bacterial reverse mutation test. This is introduced by the Bruce Amis, which is scientist born at 1928. This is a EMIS test. Now, the plate what are the test procedure for the EMIS test? Plate incorporation method, steps for EMIS. First of all, we have to prepare the culture of the Salmonella histidine. Second one is we have to mix this Salmonella histidine. This is a bacteria. Okay, we have to plate, or we have to prepare the culture of these bacteria. Second step is we have to mix the bacterial cells and the test substances in a dilute molten top agar plate with a small amount of histidine in one set, and the control with complete medium plus large amount of histidine. Third, after preparing the culture or mix with the bacterial cells or the test substances, we have to pour that molten mixture on the top of minimal agar plate and incubate at 37. We have to incubate that culture for at least 37 degrees Celsius for at least 2 to 3 days. After 2 to 3 days, the observation can be seen. So, we have to culture that animal, that we have to pour the molten, or we have to incubate that medium for at least 2 to 3 days at a temperature of 37 degrees Celsius, and until histidine is deleted at the hist cells. We have to delete this histidine part from the hist cells. Until these hist cells can be deleted from these cells, they will grow in the presence of the test mutagen, and when the histidine is completely exhausted, they will completely get deleted from these cells. Only the revertants will grow on the plant. High number of colonies represent, there is a repetition, or we can see the high number of the colonies in the greater mutagenicity. We will conclude the EMIS test from these specific strains of Salmonella. This can be taken. This is a bacteria of the Salmonella, okay, that can produce a histidine. At the last, we have to delete this histidine. Okay, now the possible mutagen, the Salmonella is added. We have to prepare the culture at that medium, in which the Salmonella, we have to add the Salmonella in the test place with the medium containing at least small amount of histidine. We have to add the Salmonella plus histidine, along with some of the mutagens which we have to test. Third, now after incubation, 12 hours incubation at the temperature of 37 degrees Celsius, many colonies produced by the Salmonella that has to be mutated or restore the histidine genes. Now the Salmonella is added to control the plate with a medium containing the small amount of histidine. 12 hours incubation, few colonies of result for a natural back mutation, because we have to deleted the histidine from this Salmonella. Now, first is the EMIS test, second one is the Comet assay test. The principle of the Comet assay test is the basic for the is that the loops of the DNA containing a break lose their supercoiling and become free to extend towards the anode when exposed to the current during electrophoresis. Electrophoresis, in which we have to produce the ions get separated according to their size. Second one is the carcinogen. What is carcinogen? Carcinogenicity studies are generally conducted to identify the tumorogenic potential of the drug in the animal, and these carcinogenesis is a complex process and no single experimentation approach can be expected to predict accurately the carcinogenic potential of any kind of the chemicals in the human. Okay, as we all know, the cancer, the lifespan of the cancer is very long. Okay, so the basic scheme comprises one long term rodents carcinogenicity study plus one another long or short term study can be seen in the carcinogenicity. This is the carcinogenic exposure. First one, initiation, the DNA will get repair, DNA cells, adducts, cell proliferation. We all know that in cancer there is a proliferation, the multiplication of the cell can be seen, in which the cell initiated there is a multiplication, cell proliferation, further it will get multiplied, and the cancer it will get produces apoptosis or either the cancerous cells. Mechanism, this is the initiation process, promotion and progression. If we will see the genotoxic carcinogen initiated cell, this is the initiating cells of producing the cancer in the body of the individual. This is cell proliferation, the cell will get multiplied, alter the cell foci, the cell will get multiplied, promotions. Then third one is the progression, in which it will lead to the cancer. Genomic instability and increase the cell proliferation, there is increase in the number of the cells. Oxidative stress can be seen, ROS can be produced from both the endogenous and the exogenous process, attack both the purine. These carcinogenic substances, they will attack the DNA part, they will attack the both purines and the pyrimidine. They will induce the DNA damage, which includes a single or the double stranded breakage. Modification can be seen or DNA crosslink can be seen. Regulatory backward OECD, some of the OECD guidelines for the carcinogen 451, 453 combined chronic toxicity, S1A guideline, S1C dose selection for the carcinogenicity. S1C is very much important. This is mainly used for determining the dose selection of the carcinogenicity study. How much dose we have to taken for accounting the carcinogenic substances. Thank you so much. I hope you all can learn about the carcinogenicity and the genotoxicity study. Thank you so much.